Right now, beneath the waves, there is a world so deep, so dark, and so strange that we have explored less of it than the surface of the moon. Most of our planet isn't the land we live on, it's ocean, and almost all of it is a mystery. Welcome to Tiny Brain, Big Questions, where we explore the biggest questions in the world with simple little drawings. Here's the first shock. The ocean covers about 71% of the Earth, but we have properly explored only a tiny fraction of it. In fact, we have better maps of Mars than we do of our own sea floor. So today, we are going to do something a little bit scary. We are going to dive straight down from the sunny surface all the way to the deepest point on the entire planet. Take a deep breath. We start at the top, the sunlight zone. This is the ocean you know, warm, bright, and full of life. It runs from the surface down to about 200 meters. Almost every sea creature you can name lives in this thin top layer. Dolphins, turtles, most fish, the coral reefs. And yet, it is only the skin of the ocean. The real ocean is far, far deeper. As we sink past 200 meters, something changes. The warmth disappears. The blue turns gray, then almost black. And we enter the twilight zone. Here, only a faint, ghostly light filters down from above. Plants can no longer grow. And the animals, well, they start to get weird. Many of them have enormous eyes, just to catch the very last specks of light. And some of them make their own light. It is called bioluminescence. In the twilight zone, creatures glow, flash, and sparkle in the dark, to hunt, to hide, or to find a mate. We keep sinking. 500 meters, 800 meters. The last of the light slowly fades away, and then, at 1,000 meters, it goes completely, totally black. Welcome to the midnight zone. From here, all the way down, there is no sunlight at all. Not ever. It is the largest living space on the whole planet, and it is pitch black, freezing cold, and crushingly deep. To give you an idea of how deep we already are, the wreck of the Titanic sits down here at around 3,800 meters. And here is the wild part. That is not even halfway to the bottom. The creatures down here look like aliens. The anglerfish, with a glowing lure dangling in front of its sharp teeth. The gulper eel, which can swallow prey even bigger than itself. And the pressure. Oh, the pressure. Down here, the weight of all the water above is so immense that it would crush a human being almost instantly. It is like having a small car pressing down on every single inch of your body. Then, there is the giant squid. A real creature, longer than a bus, with eyes the size of dinner plates. The biggest eyes in the entire animal kingdom. Sperm whales dive all the way down here, holding their breath for over an hour, to hunt those giant squid in total darkness. The battles must be incredible, and almost no one has ever seen one. We are now far deeper than most submarines can ever safely go. But still, we keep falling. 4,000 meters. The midnight zone ends, and we reach the abyss. The abyssal zone. A vast, flat, muddy plain that covers most of the ocean floor. It is near freezing, totally dark, and for the longest time, people were sure that nothing could possibly live down here. But life always finds a way. Ghostly white crabs, strange sea cucumbers, and the adorable dumbo octopus, which flaps two little ear-like fins to swim, all somehow survive on this empty plain. And when a whale dies and sinks to the bottom, its body becomes a feast, called a whale fall, that can feed deep-sea creatures for decades. One single body becomes an entire little world. In some spots down here, super hot water erupts from cracks in the floor, called hydrothermal vents, and around them, in total darkness, Whole communities of life thrive with no sunlight at all, feeding on chemicals instead. Some scientists think life on Earth may have begun in a place exactly like this. At 6,000 meters, even the endless abyss comes to an end, and we enter the final, deepest, most extreme part of the entire ocean: the trenches. These are gigantic cracks in the sea floor, known as the Hadal Zone, named after Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. And the deepest one of them all is the Mariana Trench. The very bottom of the Mariana Trench has a name: Challenger Deep. It is nearly 11,000 meters down. That is almost 11 kilometers of water sitting on top of your head. Let's put that in perspective. If you picked up Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth, and dropped it into the Mariana Trench, its peak would still be more than 2 kilometers underwater. And the pressure here is beyond imagination. More than 1,000 times the pressure at the surface. Imagine the weight of 100 elephants, all balanced on top of your head at every single moment. At this depth, a normal submarine would be crushed like an empty soda can in a fraction of a second. To survive down here, you need a vehicle built like a tiny, incredibly strong metal ball. And here is something truly amazing. For decades, more people had walked on the moon than had ever reached the bottom of the Mariana Trench. For a long time, outer space was actually easier to reach than our own deep ocean. And yet, even here, at the very bottom of the world, in the crushing cold and the endless dark, there is still life. Tiny shrimp-like creatures scuttle through the mud, and the ghostly white snailfish, the deepest fish ever discovered, swims along peacefully under a weight that would flatten a tank. But sadly, humans have left a mark, even here. When explorers finally reached the deepest point on Earth, they found something heartbreaking: a plastic bag and some candy wrappers. Our garbage had arrived before we did, so let's rise back up. Past the trenches, the abyss, the midnight and twilight zones, all the way back to the sunlight, and let's take a nice big breath of fresh air. Now remember this: the average depth of the whole ocean is about 3,700 meters. Most of it is permanently dark, freezing, and completely unexplored. The world we live on is mostly a deep, black, watery abyss. We have detailed maps of the moon, of Mars, even of faraway planets. But more than 80% of our own ocean has never been explored, mapped, or seen by human eyes. Which means there could be gigantic creatures down there, right now, that we have never even discovered. Every single year, we find brand new ones. The greatest mystery on Earth is not up in space. It is right here, beneath the waves. So the next time you stand on a beach, looking out at the sea, just remember, you are standing at the very edge of the largest, deepest, and most mysterious place in the entire world. And we have barely dipped in a single toe. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to Tiny Brain. Big questions for more. And tell me in the comments, what should I explore next? Until next time.